Welcome to the SuperBiased Sports Show, a place where fans can be fans no matter how biased their take is. My name is Ramon, co-host B Rob.
I'm B Rob, guys, and if you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening to this on one of your favorite podcast apps like Apple, Spotify, or even iHeartRadio, or any of the other extra Spotify apps that you find in the App Store, make sure you guys leave this podcast a follow. And also, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel because not every episode is going to go on a podcast. That way, you guys can make sure you're entering the giveaways and things of that nature. I'm gonna pass it back to my host, Ramon. Take it away, man.
All right, so today, guys, we got some crazy news. Finally, like,
I'm locked up, but I'm free now.
finally, my man Deshaun Watson
Yes,
is
sir.
free of all charges.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy for the dude. Just personally, I hope everything works out.
Yep.
But I also hope he comes to the Giants.
Ooh.
We might be in need of a quarterback. We might just a little bit since we didn't get Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
That'd have been but I will want him to come to New York. Honestly,
Yeah,
with
that'd be
New
scary.
York Giants. Sometimes I don't think we really ever had a black quarterback. Geno Smith for that little skint. We've seen how that went, but
Yeah.
man, I'd love for him to come to the Giants, man. Shoot.
Yeah, so as far as it goes, from what I'm seeing, according to everywhere, but mainly just according to PFF, today they did not find enough evidence to support criminal charges for Deshaun Watson in the alleged complaints. So now, one thing that teams will continue to look in, there is still a pending civil litigation, but his criminal matters have been subsided. So a good thing about that is for any team that's going to pick him up, they don't got to worry about him potentially not being able to play because of facing jail time. And then also, when you got to face jail time, the league probably will suspend you on top of that. So they either might run concurrent together, or you might face your jail time first, and then they might suspend you for a certain amount of time. I don't know if they did that for like Michael Vick, but I think when Michael Vick got out of jail, he was able to come right
He
back
was
into the
able to
league.
come back. He
Yeah,
just had to work back up the
yeah,
football for him. But
right,
yeah.
right, right. So 9 out of 10, depending on yeah, I mean, well, it doesn't look like he'll get suspended, which is a plus. Now, I will say this, since we're talking about potential landing spots, where does he land? Now, I will be honest. Come on, man. Come on, Cincinnati, right? The one spot I don't want him to land is that fake steel curtain, man. If you know me personally, I don't like the Steelers. I don't like the Steelers. It's just like they just boil my blood from past playoff things that has happened in the past. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video for a whole nother day. But my one spot where I don't want him to go to is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know for a fact he ain't gonna go to the Ravens. But one spot that I will be interested, where I think will be unfair if he went to, will be the Indianapolis Colts. You see, they did get rid of Carson Wentz, so they did get rid of Carson Wentz. But look, I put on Facebook today that Denver said they reneging. They proposed for Westbrook, right? Because they go renege so that way they could get Deshaun Watson, right? But I don't think that's gonna happen, honestly.
Right.
But honestly, I think he could either end up in Indianapolis. I haven't looked at exactly what they would have to offer. I'm assuming if being that they don't have high draft picks, they would have to shelf over some marquee players in order to get Deshaun Watson, which will
But they
only
ain't
make
giving
sense.
up Taylor though.
Oh, no.
They can't give up.
They gotta have a run game. But honestly, when you look at what it took Denver to give just to get Russell Wilson, man, I don't know.
The market.
yeah. I don't think less than 3 first rounds is gonna pass.
Yeah, and then also I wouldn't want him to go to Washington. I don't think
That's
Eagles.
another team.
Eagles got a lot of picks, but I think I hope they believe in. And what was that boy name?
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts. I
Yep,
hope
yep.
they believe in Hurts so that they just I don't. Just nobody.
See,
Dallas, they pay too much money at Prescott. He ain't going there. But Washington and
yeah.
Eagles.
Well, see, look, I know Washington not gonna go for him now because now that they have Wentz. But I ain't gonna lie, that Eagles, they
That
got
would
them high
be.
picks, man.
They got a bunch of
They
picks.
got them high picks, and 9 out of 10, if they was to trade for Deshaun Watson, Jalen Hurts will be included into the
in
package. So
in
they would
some
have
way,
got
shape, or form.
Yeah, so they would essentially get a starting quarterback that kind of has, somewhat of the same like a Watson, maybe not is the same caliber of a passer, but that has something similar to Watson, and then those picks that's like literally like y'all got picks that's like one and then skip of one and then it's a pick right after.
See, but Giants got some picks, but Giants ain't gonna give up those picks for that man.
Yeah,
Man,
and the Eagles, I
they
believe they
not.
got back-to-back picks. I got to go back over the draft order, but I believe they got back-to-back picks. So the Eagles could be a scary situation because you know how I feel about the NFC East, man. I think it's one of the easiest divisions in football
Huh.
because y'all don't got all the top quarterback talent all throughout that division. So
Yeah, I do believe he could. And then Watson, the last time he played in 2020,
mhm.
he was first in passing yards with 4,823, seventh in touchdowns with 33 touchdowns, and 27th with only 7 interceptions.
Mind you, that team didn't even make the playoffs that year.
And he was throwing to was D Hop on that team? No, he
No, no,
wasn't
nah.
on
D
that
Hop
team
wasn't there. Nah, nope. D Hop wasn't there.
with nobody. That's
Brandon
what
Cooks,
he had.
yeah, Brandon Cooks
And
and the boys.
I'm looking at teams that's available that I could think of. I might be a little biased, but
Hmm.
Giants have a great wide receiver core,
Yeah, look.
and we just need that quarterback.
If for some reason y'all was able to give up Danny Dimes, you give up Kenny Galladay too. Just keep Kadarius Tooney. I
Give up
feel like
everybody.
just keep Kadarius Tooney. Like, dude is a stud, and we ain't get to see his full potential yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know me, I'm not a Giants fan, but I like talent, and I think Kadarius was a good pickup for y'all, even though y'all was gonna get oh boy that the Eagles got instead if that Cowboys trade
Right.
didn't happen. So that's why I had drafted for y'all going to pick. But so going on to our next topic of the day, when we talking about shakeups, things that are happening in the league,
Boy.
I'm kind of like I'm kind of little torn because, my team, we just came from the Super Bowl. And then when I look at it, the AFC just got a lot tougher, bro. But I will say this. We don't play the AFC West because we played them last year.
Last year.
So the only time where we would be able to see this tandem that we are about to talk about will be if we go to the playoffs and play them in the playoffs. And that tandem, that one person we talking about first is Khalil Mack. He got traded to the Los Angeles Chargers, bro.
For
Now look,
pennies on the dimes.
the pennies
To
on the
me.
dime. Yeah, and I will say this. I think it was a perfect trade because when you think about it, Denver just made a splash trade and upgraded nicely at quarterback. Now we don't know if Russell Wilson is going to fit into the system. We don't know the play. I know they was able to retain their top wide receivers, but when you got a quarterback like Russell Wilson who is good at backyard football, you got to have more than one pass rusher to try to either contain that guy or be able to chase him. And one thing I can say is I like the line better in Denver than Seattle. Now to combat that, Chargers went out and they got him a Khalil Mack. And so I want to just briefly talk about how it will affect the AFC West.
Oh.
Now, I think this is me personally. I think that the Kansas City Chiefs, they're starting to fall behind in talent.
Oh yeah.
And the AFC West, the other teams, they're coming, right?
They're coming.
They're coming,
They're
right?
getting people that come for quarterback too.
Right. They got and exactly. So then, like when you're on offense, and you're looking across the line. Say you're Patrick Mahomes,
Mm,
you're Derek Carr, you're uh what's the other, Russell Wilson,
Russell Wilson
and
now.
then on your left, right? No, this is my right. So on my right, but it'll look left on the screen.
Hmm.
On my right, I'm looking at Joey Bosa, right? Now I'm gonna be a little bit more specific. It's third and maybe 15, right? Third and 15, right?
Where they gonna pin their ears back now?
Right. So they pin in the ears. Now this is what I see. On my right, I see Joey Bosa, and directly next to him, I see Khalil Mack. Right? Because what a lot of people aren't talking about is they got that linebacker in Wosu. I believe that's how you say his
Hmm.
name. And the kid is a stud too at pass rushing, right? So then you got Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on one side, and then you got this young stud that's outside linebacker that can play edge and rush. And then your guards, you sitting there wondering what's the block protection, because if
Because
you get this
is
right,
and then they got the big man, what
oh
whatever
yes,
Joseph in the middle.
Linval. I think his name is
Yeah,
Joseph Linval.
Linval,
Yeah,
he was a giant. Like, what can you do?
look,
That line with the lines that's in the league now match up. If Von Miller goes back to the
Denver.
to the Rams,
Oh, to the Rams.
if
Yep,
he stays with the Rams, then
yep.
their line is, I would say, almost even. But
Yeah.
boy, I
I
would
ain't gonna.
not.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested in to see, because so based on what I have here for Khalil Mack, according to PFF, now we do know he did get injured last year, so he
Mhm.
only had 6 sacks and then 10 total tackles. But as far as a player like Khalil Mack, your biggest thing is, as long as he get pressures and as long as he get QB hurries, even if some like contact on the quarterback, QB hits, those are the things that don't necessarily show up in the stat book, that if they're happening, that affects the game in the long run. Like, so us, we got Joe Burrow, the most sacked quarterback last year, most hit quarterback last year. Now, not every quarterback is a Joe Burrow, right? Now, Russell Wilson, he a little older than Joe. He older than Joe Burrow. So, you constantly hit him throughout the game. You got Matt constantly
Bruh.
hitting him. I mean, like Ramon, he literally just left from a conference with Aaron Donald, and now he's in the conference with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack on the same
Same
exact team.
team.
So,
That
so check this out, right? The Chargers next year, they play Denver, of course, because they're in the same conference, Kansas City, of course, and then they play the Raiders, of course. Now, their other opponents are the Jacksonville Jaguars. They also play the Seattle Seahawks. And then they also play the Rams. They also play the Tennessee Titans. And then
mm,
they also play the Dolphins. They also play the Cardinals and San Fran, the Browns, Texans, and the Falcons, right? So those are teams that they play for sure, that are gonna see that matchup of Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. So out of
man.
them teams, what team do you think is they gonna give a lot of problems to?
Uh, I want to say the Titans because they got the run stuffer. It's not even about we know what Mac and Watson and Bosa is gonna do. Especially imagine them two just doing a stunt. Just imagine that. But I would say the Titans because out of that, they probably got what I would think is the weakest quarterback out of that bunch, pretty much. And
Oh, trust me, we know, we know, we
exactly.
know. 3 picks, we know, we know.
So I think that they would that's where they're gonna just. I think that game might be a blowout if they could slow down that man Henry, of course. Mhm.
So out of all those teams, I think that I'm gonna excited to see how they play against the Chiefs, because I think that with the addition of Russell Wilson to that conference, and then now um the Chargers are beefing up their pass rush. which in that conference you're going to need that because you're playing a Patrick Mahomes twice. And if it was any team that really played um the Chiefs very well this year, was the Chargers. Like that's literally was their only team that I think that is the biggest competition prior to Denver getting Russell Wilson. So I think out of all the teams that they play next year, I'm excited to see how they match up with the Rams because they did get better in coverage, and
Mm-hmm.
they got Derwin James, so
They got
they got Derwin James. So now that they're able to actually put a pass rush out there that's
oh my
respectable, that teams that
goodness,
actually got
man.
you know to gear for. I'm interested to see how they're gonna do against the Rams and of course the Chiefs. So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting for what they do on to next year. So what you got next for us?
Man, so I got the Giants' top free agents.
Hmm.
We don't got a bunch of top players, but top free agents. Then who should they pick up?
Okay.
So
So
the
who are some of y'all free agents for this year?
our some of our free agents is Evan Ingram, Jabril Peppers, Lorenzo Carter, and Nate Soldier. Nate Soldier, he's 33 years old.
Yep.
He's good. He's a great tackle.
Hmm.
Only when they have other great linemen around him, and we don't have none.
Mm.
We have zero. So maybe he might just do a year contract. I don't know, but I'm not gonna lie to you. The past 2 years, I was so upset at Evan Ingram, the Butterfingers, everything. But if we could get Deshaun Watson, and I'm banking on Deshaun Watson, if we
Even though
get
that's a
Deshaun,
stretch, but it can
look,
happen.
Ingram has a speed of a wide receiver.
Yeah.
But of one big person that I do want us to keep, I would like Lorenzo Carter, but Jabril Peppers.
Okay.
Dude was the heart and soul of the defense
I don't think
last
Jabril
year
gonna make it.
when, when we was doing decent. But Landon Collin is a free agent
He a
now.
free agent. He might come back. He might come back.
And that's where he had his best season was with the Giants.
Yeah, but I
So
think that's because you guys use him more like a linebacker opposed to a safety.
right, and that's what I'm saying. If we could keep Jabril Peppers and Landon Collins just come down into the box, I honestly believe that would be, man, one of the biggest things for us. Yeah, we need cornerback. We already. I'm not even mentioning the O line. I think
Right.
we're gonna draft nothing but offensive linemen,
Yeah. Well,
and we
see,
need edge rush.
and this a thing. I think, and not to go too deep in the draft because we got a video coming up for based on the draft. I think if KT, the defensive edge rusher from Oregon, is there, because I believe y'all picked number 5. Am I correct?
Hmm.
Okay, so I think y'all picked 5 and 7. So if he's there at 5, y'all definitely gonna pick him. I feel like you can't pass the edge rusher can't fall that far down. So I think y'all definitely pick him. But to go back to y'all free agents, I don't think y'all gonna keep Evan Ingram. I think the guy is out of here. I feel like um y'all put every
Well,
year after year, y'all put too much hope into him, and it just doesn't pan out. So that's just my thoughts on Evan Ingram. I think the talent is there, but I mean, I think the potential and talent is there. It just doesn't connect when we're on the field. I believe so.
hey man, I hope we could get Chandler Jones. Maybe I'm
Hmm.
stretching by saying J.C. Jackson. I know that's not going to happen. We're not. The Giants is not giving up money like that. Okay, but
Ba-bum, bum, ba-dum, ba-da-bum. Money, money, money.
but man, I just need to do something, and they need to do something quick because I haven't seen a Super Bowl in a long time. I
Yeah,
got spoiled when I was a little bit younger. I need them.
yeah,
It
yeah,
ain't like
yeah.
it ain't like they the Cowboys and they ain't win nothing in 30 years, but we'll save that for another episode.
Hey, this is super biased sports, so you could be a fan no matter how biased you take it. So hey, but
Yes, sir.
so real quick, so then let's segue up until the Bengals. We tag Jesse Bates. Um, Now the belief is we're going to extend his. He's going to get an extension. Now I'll be honest, based on what we've done in the past, where we've actually tagged someone and then they signed an extension in the same year, I doubt that Jesse Bates is gonna sign an extension. Now I know the Bengals fans out there that probably not gonna like this. I commented on a tweet when we tagged him, and people, when I tell you, people were trying to crucify me, and I'm sitting here like, bruh, it's okay to have love these players, but at the end of the day, business is business. And Jesse Bates was one of the highest rated
Man,
safeties last year in PFF, and then this
man.
year, exactly, and this year he did fall off a little bit, but his play in the playoffs was
Was
next level.
spectacular.
Come on now, like his play in the playoffs was next level. So like literally he made up for the downs regular season that he
Hmm.
had. And then so I don't know, maybe he gets an extension next year. But we don't even know what the free safety market or the safety market period is going to be like next year. So now, as far as our free agents, shout out to BJ Hill. I want to say I appreciate y'all for this trade this year. Like this was like this was a layup. Y'all literally gave us an alley oop. His interception
Man.
against Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship was like I was on the edge of the bed screaming. Okay, so shout out to the Giants for the alley oop for BJ Hill. Now I will say
Uh,
this. So the now we do have BJ Hill. I don't believe we're gonna re-sign Riley Reef unless because I think he might retire unless he comes back on another 1 year and just be like a
hmm.
swing tackle. Because I believe we're gonna get a tackle in free agency. We'll talk about more about free agency at another time. Because we don't want this video to go too long, but I think Riley Reef will come back. I don't. I think we're gonna get Quentin Spain back, but I think we're more focused on getting a starting guard first, and then if Quentin Spain is there and they're competing for a starting job, I don't think that's a bad idea. And then your boy Eli Apple. Look, he
It's just that one play, though.
is
He
look
was
look
doing great the
he
whole
was doing his
postseason.
thing. Like literally, look, if you put his stats up to Jalen Ramsey stats in that Super Bowl, you would think Jalen Ramsey was the
Hmm.
guy who was getting with Jalen Ramsey was getting torched the entire game.
Bruh.
Eli Apple gave up 19 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, yes, them 2 touchdowns are vital, but it's like he was just getting bashed. But I can say because of his antics on social media, he deserved it. He deserved it. If you're gonna talk on social media, you got to be able
You
to
better
receive
back
it.
it up.
When things come your wrong way. So, I think we also keep Eli Apple, but I think in this draft, I would really like for us as far as like free agents to us to target Ryan Jensen. I like the guard from the Bears. And I I got a feeling that we may be in the market for the center that's on the Rams. And but I believe if we fix the line, we're probably gonna draft D tackle, the kid Davis from Georgia if he's there at 31,
Hmm.
or we're gonna get a and the dude is a freak athlete. We'll talk about the draft in another video. Or we're gonna get a cornerback. So just briefly, real quick, I think those are the guys that we'll target for free agents. And then as far as it goes, the guys that I think that we're gonna retain because I think Eli Apple and Riley Reef will be good backups because Eli Apple
Right.
was very serviceable. Okay, so now as far as my final thoughts, I think that I'm very excited for the season. We got free agency tampering period opening up Monday, so I feel like the tampering already starts behind
Already.
closed doors because
Man.
these deals come out on Monday that you're like, wait, I know y'all ain't just get on the phone today and talk about this. So that's my final thoughts about things that's coming up. You got anything for us before we close on out?
And my final thoughts is, man, I just hope we get Watson. We got the draft capital to do it.
All
I
right,
hope
guys.
we get
Well, yeah. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Super Biased Sports. We're gonna catch you guys on another video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel, and Man, we got a lot of content coming. We hope you guys tune in. We got giveaways coming up, things for y'all to participate in. And we just two guys, two brothers that love talking about sports, man.
All right, y'all. Nice talking with y'all. Peace.